How we doing?
Want to take us out of practice session,
Okay.
please? John, did you realize what a warm welcome you were going to get today?
That was nice, let's do it all.
All right, this meeting of the Mahwah Board of Education is open to members of the public to be physically present. Members of the public that attend will be asked to follow the same procedures as all other visitors to our schools. Those procedures can be found in the agenda page of our website. Additionally, the board meeting will be live streamed for viewing purposes only. Anyone wishing to view the meeting may do so via Zoom. Webinar ID is 894-3637-8120, and the required password is 568921. I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please. Dr. DeToro will be Mr. Lamb for us this morning.
Ms. Stevaniero.
Here.
Mr. De Silva.
Here.
Mr. Denise.
Here.
Mr. Gallo. Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Mr. Kozmarski. Ms. Jansen. Mr. Copeland. Dr. Morthy.
Here. Adequate notice of agenda of this meeting has been provided to the Ridgewood News and the Record, specifying that the Mahwah Board of Education will meet on August 7th, 2024, in the Administrative Office of 60 Ridge Road, Mahwah, New Jersey. A copy was filed with the Township Clerk. Salute to the flag. Mr. Hughes, if you would do that, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, no need for executive session this morning in the beginning. Let's move on to agenda questions. Please limit your questions at this time to resolutions under new business on this agenda. It's a matter of fairness. You're asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you're here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you're here as an individual, please give us your name and address. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. I need a motion to open the meeting to the public. Mr. De Silva, second by Mr. Denise. We are officially open to the public. Seeing no one come forth at this time, motion to close the meeting to the public. Mr. Hughes and second by Mr. De Silva. We do not have a Mahwah student representative report this morning, so let's move on to superintendent's report. Dr. DeToro.
Good morning. My report is going to be based on the presentations that we have in front. We have Ms. Corella and Mr. Gliada, who's going to be presenting our Access, NJ, GPA, and graduation pathways data information.
Good morning. I'm going to be speaking about the Access, which is the Assessing Comprehension and Communication English State to State, which is a test taken by our multilingual learners in grades kindergarten through 12, which gives us information regarding their language proficiency. Specifically in district, our students all took Access for L's. We did not take the alternate. When looking at the assessment, it's broken down into 4 domains: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And we're looking for a composite score of a 4.5 or greater to exit the program. Our groups are clustered by K, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9 through 12. And I did want to just bring attention to the fact that students in grades 4 through 12 take the entire assessment online, whereas students in grades K through 3 actually still take it written by hand in a test booklet. I wanted to provide some sample questions so that you could see specifically what the Access test looks like for our students. And as you can see, this is a sample writing question where students are asked to look at pictures, interpret a graph, and then be able to write a step-by-step explanation, including details. So when we look at some of these sample questions, I really want you to recognize that some of these students are coming within the year, or have only been here for a year or 2, and are really expected to not only have language, but have academic content language as well. And this is a sample of a middle school question where students are expected to, again, look at a chart, then look at a reading passage, and then be able to interpret. So these are just some sample questions so that you can really see the rigor of the assessment. And even, for example, this is a reading question, but I want to note specifically that there's mathematical language involved in this reading question. So when we are talking about what's necessary to really support our multilingual learners within district, it's not just language that's going to help them outside having conversation, but the academic language that involves, specifically in this reading passage where we've been looking at mathematical statements. The speaking sample specifically requires students to, again, involve academic context. So we're talking about not just conversational skills, but being able to incorporate vocabulary that's used in all of our content classes. So I wanted to take a look at our testing population this year. We had 64 ML students that participated in testing. So all 64 did participate, so we had a 100% assessment rate, including one student who is out of district. So we sent one of our teachers who is trained in the administration of the access to be able to go to the out-of-district placement to test the student. Specifically, I wanted to talk about the 26.6 new students to district, right, the percentage of students that are new. These students came within the year. Many are newcomers, so they're coming with not necessarily the experience or the formal education that many students come from within different states. So here are our numbers. Looking specifically from year of kindergarten to 5th grade, these are all the students in 2023 that took the assessment and then took it again in 2024. And as you can see, our students, so every student who took the assessment last year improved in every domain this year. Specifically focusing on reading, and I wanted to bring attention to that. This was something that we really honed in on this year, working closely with Dr. Rubino and our reading interventionists, and really looking at multiple measures to determine which students needed the support to have more specific or-in or intervention strategies. So we were really excited to see that we felt that work really benefited them. And the same goes for our 6 through 12. As you can see, our students who took the assessment in 2023 and then took it again this year increased in every single domain as well. And again, looking at that reading piece, we really focused in specifically looking at our iReady and our interventions and using our different types of literacy labs and having our teachers hone in on specific targeted skills that we felt were necessary for improvement of not just necessarily language, but also understanding the targeted skills of the content standards. So some of the intervention strategies that we used this past year that we are going to continue to use, and then we have a couple new ones that we're going to be throwing in, is we did look at our curriculum and updated all of our WIDA standards, specifically looking at our ELA literacy development, and really honing in on professional development. I was proud to share that we had multiple sessions in January led by our multilingual learner teachers, including a group of students from the Community Problem Solving Club out at the high school. We also had 2 teachers attend the ISME or in Gillingham training and were able to turnkey, which really is a focus on literacy. And we all attended as a department interpreting access scores to guide instruction. So now that we have this information on every single student, we attended this workshop to determine what is the best way to continue meeting the needs of all of these individual students. So these scores are on paper, they improved, they're great, but how do we then continue to increase these scores as they hopefully exit our program? We've really taken a stronghold. I had a teacher here yesterday actually leading new teacher orientation for small group instruction. We are going to be continuing the push-in model, so for students who scored a 3.7 or greater, we'll have them continue in the classrooms with our multilingual learner teachers pushing in, as well as our students who are newcomers or need more support will have the option also for small group instruction with our multilingual teachers, as well as remaining in the classroom for push-in. We are going to continue our after-school tutoring, where we really are targeting literacy, language acquisition, and content. I'm excited to share that we did create a class of multilingual learners pre-algebra solutions 6 through 8 at Ramapo Ridge. And we were actually just finalizing that curriculum yesterday. We're really excited about it. Really looking at some of the prerequisite skills that would be needed to understand algebra and geometry, and really focusing on remediating them so that we can continue forward to bring our students up to grade level. And again, that's a class where students are going to go into, we are going to remediate, and then they're going to push out into their regular grade level classes. And we're really excited more about bringing really these real world experiences of application and language to our students. This past year, we went to the post office in Mahwah, which was a really incredible experience. Our students had the opportunity to really speak about career pathways, talk about opportunities for them as they further their academic careers, and where they could go next. And just having them engage in conversation about, there's different venues and opportunities out there that they didn't know and that were so close to home. Was something really exciting to them. They were learning about the pension system when you take part of, that type of profession. They were learning about how you can start at an hourly rate and work your way up. And it was really incredible to watch students see that there are so many opportunities available to them, even in Mahwah, so close to home, that could really further their lives outside of the Mahwah School District. I'm going to pass it over to Mike.
Thank you. Good morning. So the New Jersey Graduation Proficiency Assessment is the test students need to pass to graduate, to show proficiency to graduate from Mahwah High School, from State High School. Back in '81, the state started with the minimum basic skills test, grade 9, given to grade 9 students. In '83, they went to high school proficiency test for grade 9. Then in '88, when I graduated high school, they went to the high school proficiency test for grade 11. And then HESPA in 2001. And then after 2001, what came next? You remember? Dr. Fair? What's the test? You got it. That was the next one. And so now the NJGPA. That's just the test students. And it's based on the grade 10 standards. Dr. Fair wrote a whole entire book about it. The NJGPA. So the student, this is an alternate. So if students do not pass the NJGPA, they can take an alternate assessment. They can either retake the test, or they can do there's a substitute cost, a group of assessments they can take to pass or complete a portfolio. Right now, so this test is given, and we'll talk about these numbers. This is the current class of 2025, our current seniors. So as of today, they're going into senior year, we have 6 students who still have to meet that requirement, right, of the 203 students that we have. And those 6 are already in line to pass the test, because they're part of the portfolio appeals process, so it'll be done by October. So last year, again, this is this data for this year, so class 2025, we tested 203 students in English and 202 in math. The 2 who did not test were on home instruction. And then you see the graduation ready, we had students above 725, 92% in English, and 83% in math. And like I said, as of now, we have 6 students, they'll be done by October. Here's the comparison of scores of the last 3 years. The cut score in 2022, because that number is a little lower, was 750. The state changed it to 725. But we're still well above the state average in all our assessments. The disaggregated data year to year, you see the nice growth with the male population, our special ed population off the charts. Okay, from 49 last year to 71%. Okay, that's fantastic. I mean, amazing, absolutely amazing. That's good. A lot of the cross-curricular approach, moving those students and giving them more opportunities in general education courses has really made a huge, huge difference. Here's mathematics. Okay, it's been a decrease across the state. Mahwah High School for the last few years implemented a 4th year of a math class. Most schools are only doing 3. We have a 3-year graduation required in math, but most students take 4 years of math. We added a statistics course that has really, really become very popular. And really, a lot of students want to take it. We've gone from 1 section 3 years ago, now I think we're sure running 4. And our strategies. The one thing I always loved about Mahwah is I would say the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. When I say the left hand and the right hand, the supervisors are at the Ridge, not the same supervisor in the high school. So we're attacking and we're getting to students early. After when they leave 8th grade, the supervisors and the teachers know exactly what needs to be done at the high school. So we're identifying those students early from the Ridge. We're getting them enrolled in CCR classes, those college career readiness courses. And actually, the kids actually love those classes. especially particularly the math. Well, we'll put the student in a CCR class in math in the first semester, and they'll want to stay in the second semester. They just love that additional extra support. The Algebra 1 accelerator classes for a double period of math for those students who are struggling in math. So freshman year, they'll take Algebra 1, and they'll take Algebra 1 accelerator, which is a double class of math, so that by junior year, when we get to the NJGPA, these kids are ready to roll. And the same thing with math. We have the CCR classes, the ASA, which is an assessment, alternative assessment class, which we have not had to run. So like I said, this year we had the 6 kids, but we don't need to run this class, this ASA class, because by that point, kids are ready to go. Class of 2024. When we talk about this data and all said and done, we look at where our students go and how they succeed. This is graduation rate. This is the estimated number for class of 2024. Now please understand this graduation rate, okay, last year we had 226 seniors, all 226 graduated. Okay. So why is the graduation rate not 100%? Graduation rate is calculated by cohort. So we had students who left during that cohort that left Mahwah High School. Certain special ed populations don't get included because they don't meet the state requirements from the attendance requirements and academic requirements, and some out-of-district students. But all students who walked in the building in September at Mahwah High School, all in graduate. Here's our class of 2024 statistics. Okay, the class who just graduated, okay, 226 in the new class, 33 passed the substitute competency test, an SAT, a PSAT, and AccuPlacer, and then 10 were portfolio appeals. Our SATs, the SAT again is at 1,600. Still waiting for the final numbers to come in from College Board. We can see our math scores equivalent to last year. Our evidence-based reading and writing on par with where we were last year, and a significant rise from the last 2 years, and our combined score of 1203, which is really impressive. The ACT, okay, college will accept either an SAT or an ACT. So part of our guidance plan is we have every student takes the PSAT, 10th and 11th grade, that the district pays for. That information, that data, really gives our English and math teachers some really, really good things to go from to help build and to work with students. And so when the students we always have students take the PSAT, they can practice ACT, and then students can choose between SAT or ACT to submit to college. And some students are better geared towards an ACT or an SAT, so we give those students an opportunity. And the ACT is at 36, there's 4 sections, math, English, reading, and science, and the composite is the total score, 25 points. Our AP numbers. Remember, AP is at 1 through 5. The student scores a 3, 4, or 5. A 3, 4, or 5 in an AP test, and get college credit. So last year, our students, we had 210 students, take 477 exams, and they get an average of 91 for 3 or better. So 91% of our students will get college credit for most schools. And our overall score is a 3.8. 3.8 out of 5. Scores by subject. Here's our 2024 scores. You see the growth in computer science, okay, the English language, okay, the language and comp is 4.0. Calculus BC, those numbers are just phenomenal. I mean, just mind-blowing. Getting almost near perfect the last 3 years. The second step, we go over 24 subjects. Okay, you see all this entire page is 3.8, 3.8, 3.9, 4.0, 3.8. Okay, you see the numbers again, 3 or better will get you college credit. And the jump in U.S. history from 3.5 to 4.4. Jump in GOPO 4.1 to 4.6. Okay, really, really phenomenal numbers. Our post-secondary plans, so we have 92.9% of Mahwah students, well, not Mahwah students attending a 4 or 2-year college or technical career school. 4-year colleges, we're at 82%. 2-year college, about 7.5%. And we have other employment, military year, gap year. This is where our kids wind up, our students wind up. Some really impressive schools. And the one piece that I really like to talk about is when we talk about building students from an academic standpoint. The one thing that I really want to kind of point out is that we have students at Mahwah High School, 25 different states across the country, and 2 countries. Okay, we have a student attending school in England, and another student who is in France next year. So the confidence that our students develop from an academic and a emotional and social standpoint gives them the confidence to go out and just branch out. So we have students, Mahwah High School students across the country. Open up for any questions?
Thank you very much, Ms. Corella and Mr. Fiona. Appreciate the very comprehensive presentation, and it's very exciting to see how well our students are doing. Dr. DeSora, do you have anything else?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. There's no business administrator report. Dr. Fair, I think, does not have a report either. I don't have a report this morning either. Any board committee reports? Board member remarks? Okay, let's move on to new business. Other, let's take 17A and B. I need a motion. Mr. Hughes, second by Mr. De Silva. Dr. DeBoer?
Ms. Daviniero.
Yes.
Mr. De Silva.
Yes.
Mr. Denise.
Yes.
Mr. Gallo. Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
Mr. Kazmarsky. Ms. Jansen. Mr. Copland. Dr. Morthy.
Yes. All right, let's move on to 18, new business, personnel. We have 18A through X. I need a motion. Mr. Denise, second by Mr. Hughes. All right, Dr. DeTore?
Ms. Daviniero.
Yes.
Mr. De Silva.
Yes.
Mr. Denise.
Yes.
Mr. Gallo. Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
Mr. Kazmarsky. Ms. Jansen. Mr. Copland. Dr. Morthy.
Yes. All right, public questions or comment. Public participation at board meetings is in accordance with bylaw L167. At this time, members of the public may ask questions or make a comment on educational issues or school matters of community interest. It's a matter of fairness. You are asked to limit your questions to no more than 1 and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you're here as an individual, please state your name and provide your address. All right, I need a motion to open the meeting to the public. Mr. De Silva, and second by Mr. Hughes. We are officially open to the public. Seeing no one come forward at this time, motion to close the meeting to the public, Mr. Hughes, and second by Mr. Denise. All right, we do not require an executive session this morning, so I need a motion to adjourn. Mr. Hughes and second by Mr. De Silva. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.